we're at the Bullingdon on Cowley Road. We're open at 10 p.m. and we're going until about 2 o'clock in the morning. And you can get tickets on Skiddle and on wegottickets.com.
Get radio breakfast with Rich Smith.
Right, looking forward to catching up with Aidan Larkin now. Of course, Count Skylarkin to you and me with an amazing event that is happening at the Bullingdon in Oxford tomorrow night. Morning, Aidan. Merry Christmas, mate. Merry Christmas as well.
Merry Christmas, Rich. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. As I mentioned just in the song to you before, always have to apologise to the nighttime fraternity for doing things very, very early. So we're honoured and blessed that you are here to chat about this. This is a tradition. This is something we've been chatting about today. Traditions at Christmas in an event that you put on Christmas Eve. How long's it been going for now?
Well, Reggae Christmas, the tradition of having a reggae show in Oxford on Christmas Eve and specifically in Cowley Road on Christmas Eve began in 1995, wow. Where a chap called Nick Moorbath, who was a bit of a musician, local legend, he bought a club that came to be known as the Zodiac, off of some guys, and he had to. I think he got the keys just before Christmas, and he had a guy working for him called Shanks who was running the place, and they had to think of something quick to put on Christmas Eve. They decided they might as well open. I think Christmas Eve was like a Friday night that year.
Right.
So there was a local reggae band called Makating. There were two, in fact. One called Makating and one called Dubweiser. Both good bands. Dubweiser still around, still going. And there was local reggae DJs, and there was some lads called Destination who had a sound system that they used to use at free parties, and they decided to just turn the club over to all of those lot, charge a couple of pound on the door, and Reggae Christmas was born. The night was a massive sold-out success, and for every Christmas Eve since, pretty much, there's been a reggae show on Christmas Eve in East Oxford. It's a mad, brilliant tradition. It goes late into the night, and I don't think there's anything quite like it anywhere else in the UK.
I was going to say that it is the unique factor because it's Christmas Eve, where yes, some people are kind of at their destinations and with family and what have you. But the flip side of that is there's people who go out. They go out for the Christmas Eve drinks. They're in the town. They're on the Cowley Road, which is always, I mean, it doesn't even matter what day or Christmas Day or anything like that, is always alive and thriving and buzzing. And to have
every day is Christmas when you live on Cowley Road.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Yeah. But to have this and to kind of be there, it's an amazing thing. And like you say, that traditional factor to offer that, it's such a buzz, and it could only happen on Cowley Road.
Yeah. We've got people who go to the night now who weren't even born, of course, when it started, but they go with their parents, and their parents were young when it started. I mean, I was young when it started. Like it's as much of a tradition around here as like mince pies and what do you people eat? Pigs and blankets.
What do you people eat? Yeah. Sometimes we do. Yeah, sometimes we do.
I don't.
So just go through the night with us, because as well as a great acts as well, wonderful DJs. There's a real sort of camaraderie and a real sort of great feeling, and a special sound system as well that's going to be there.
Yeah. So this year I book someone different every year for it, and we've had some amazing people in the past. One previous guest, of course, was Susan Cadogan, who we both had a lovely conversation with just a couple of weeks ago on air on Get Radio. This year, again, I've kind of handpicked people from my travels and festivals over the summer, and of course, getting people to do a show on Christmas Eve is always a bit of a battle. And every year I wonder if if this year might be the last, or if we're not going to be able to get anyone. We've had some Jamaican legends over the years, but like getting them to do the show the first time on Christmas Eve, everyone kind of goes, what happens then is once they've agreed to do it, they want to come back every year. Yeah. And so this year we've got two people doing it for the first time, and one person who just wants to come back every year. So from Somerset, lovely guy I met at Boomtown Festival. Tristan is bringing his own hand-built, homemade sound system. This thing, like, big old massive speaker cabinets that he's painstakingly crafted himself at home. He's bringing that up in a big van up from his home in Somerset. He's called Tansha Soundsystem, and we're going to build that inside the club. We're going to take the stage out and put a massive wall of speakers where the stage should have been. Put the decks on the floor, and so he's coming. We've got something old and something new, because we've got a guy called Myki Tuff, who's become a bit of a veteran of my nights. He's traveling down from Birmingham. He's a Jamaican dancehall vocalist, and just one of the most live wire, quick fire, rapid toasters in the game. He's coming down from Birmingham, and we've got something else, something new, and indeed something borrowed. We've got a guy called Solo Banton, who is an absolute all-time reggae sound system legend. He's traveling up. He's coming straight from a family meal down in London, coming up for midnight, and he's going to be on the mic as well. And then I'll be sharing duties on the decks with various people from around here, some of whom have been involved since Christmas Eve 1995. Daniel Norland, Gary Constant. We'll have Garvin Dan all the way from Trinidad. It's a real all-star cast, and it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
In terms of DJing sort of gigs and what have you, there's ones that obviously stick out, and you do lots of festivals, you do lots of gigs around here, but there must be something quite special about a Christmas Eve, about that this is unique. There's not probably too many clubs that are even open, let alone having the ability to play. And do you kind of choose music a little differently for Christmas Eve? Do you hold stuff back? Do you kind of throw stuff in that you would never normally play?
Well, I mean, the reggae genre's throws up a lot of mad little records, and some of them are Christmas themed. Funnily enough, I've got a big wall of records behind me, and some of them were left to me by an old friend of mine, no longer with us, the late DJ Derek. And the funny thing was, Derek famously sold all of his 30,000 records in the late 90s and recorded them all onto mini disc because he thought he was future-proofing himself. Yeah. The ones he didn't sell were the Christmas records, and he just gave them to me one day. He's like, couldn't be bothered selling them. I think, well, some of them are terrible, but some of them are absolute gems. So there's a lot of that. I mean, it's one of those gigs where I'm always thinking about it. A little bit like Cowley Road Carnival or something. It's a bit of a fixture in the diary, and you know that you've got a lot of the same people coming every year, and you've got to hit it somehow differently, but strike the right notes. So once I've finished wrapping my presents and the kids are in bed, I'll start putting records in a box. We'll see where we are by 2:00 in the morning on Christmas Day. see what makes sense at that point. Probably quite a lot, I would have thought. It's been amazing catching up with you, Aidan, as it always is. Where can people sort of find tickets and kind of pop down and see tickets on the door? This year. Yeah, probably. Yeah, so this year, the night moved about 10 doors up the road about 15 years ago. So we're no longer at the Zodiac. We're at the Bullingdon on Cowley Road. We're open at 10 p.m. and we're going until about 2:00 in the morning. And you can get tickets on Skiddle and on wegottickets.com. And sure, if you sidle up at the door, the chances are we'll probably squeeze you in as well. You never know.
Top stuff. Aidan, have a very Merry Christmas and enjoy tomorrow night.
And
that sounds absolutely awesome. That's Count Skylarkin.
Thanks a million.
Thanks, mate. Top man.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, mate. Merry Christmas. Brilliant stuff. Always great to catch up with him, and what a special event. So if you are looking for something on the Cowley Road and you are about, make sure you get down to that. A wicked night. Properly awesome.